going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing another daily Manchester City transfer update with things hotting up out there every single day. So if you do want to stay up to date first and fast on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news this summer, make sure you have subscribed to my channel with my daily Manchester City transfer updates. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description below, and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and search for me and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. We smashed it on the last video. Can we do it on this one as well? That would be absolutely fantastic. And finally, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts, what you make of these transfers in the comments below. So we're going to crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the out, and we've got the very latest on a combination of James McAtee and Cole Palmer. And we've got a combination of these two players because the Mail are reporting that Brighton and Hove Albion, they remain keen on signing both James McAtee and Cole Palmer. It is believed that if they want to make a move for Cole Palmer, they'd prefer for that to be a permanent deal rather than a loan deal. Cole Palmer, of course, getting linked with a move to West Ham, and Man City could use that to try and loosen negotiations between the two clubs when it comes to Lucas Paqueta. James McAtee, I'm hearing very little about him at this moment in time. I imagine Man City probably do want a bit of clarification about signing a midfielder before they decide on potentially moving James McAtee on. I would expect it to be a loan deal, but Brighton don't really like loans, and I wouldn't rule out by the end of the window James McAtee potentially being sold by Manchester City with a good sell-on fee and buyback clause included, and I wouldn't rule that out with Cole Palmer as well. Any developments that I do get, of course, I will keep you up to date with my daily Manchester City transfer updates. Now, moving on to the final story of the out, takes us on to a really interesting update on Aymeric Laporte, and it's pretty quiet out there and we don't really have too much to say, so you'll be wondering, JSGC, what do you mean? We've got a big, interesting update on Aymeric Laporte when nothing literally is happening. Well, that's the update. That's what's really interesting to me. Fabrizio Romano says that Aymeric Laporte, despite the arrival of Joško Gvardiol, is relaxed about his future. He isn't in a rush to leave Manchester City, and he will only leave Manchester City if the right offer comes along for him and the right club comes along for him as well, which I put on my notes next to it. Fair enough. However, he may struggle for game time. Aymeric Laporte will know that he may struggle for game time unless Manchester City get injuries. But if he's happy to be a squad player for Manchester City, I can certainly think of worse squad players out there for us. And to me, Man City's defence, we've got one too many centre-backs. However, I do also feel like you could have strength in numbers here, and if Man City are to pick up injuries like we've got with John Stones and Ruben Diaz, I'm sat here very relaxed about the situation because we are overstacked when it comes to centre-backs, top quality centre-backs as well. So if Laporte doesn't want to leave, then that's up to him. If we've got space to register him and Man City are happy to keep hold of him and he's happy to be here, who are we to say that he should leave? I just feel like it'd be better for his career and development for him to leave. We'll wait and see. I've heard rumours, and they are only rumours, nothing reliable, about Real Madrid potentially being interested because of the injury to Militao, who's picked up an ACL injury, so he's going to be out for months. So they may want to be looking towards a centre-back and a left-sided centre-back, and Laporte could be available for them. And Man City willing to loan him out because I imagine that's what Real Madrid will want to do, like they have done with Kepa, to sign him as a goalkeeper as a replacement for Courtois, whilst he's also got an ACL injury as well. So will Man City want to loan him out? That remains to be seen. And as Laporte says, he's only interested in going to the right club. Is Madrid the right club? Are they going to make a move? Who knows? Summer's long. Literally anything can happen. Now, moving on to the ins. Very interesting update on Jeremy Doku. Now, Stade Rennais, their manager, has been speaking about the future of Jeremy Doku and said that a fee hasn't yet been agreed. And whilst that is the case, he will be utilised by Rennais this summer. He says that there are offers out there which will be to them too good to turn down, but that hasn't come in for Jeremy Doku as of yet. They haven't received a big offer that's too good for them to turn down, and whilst that is the case, Jeremy Doku remains a Stade Rennais player. Now, Martin Blackburn says that Rennais are looking for around £47 million for Jeremy Doku if Manchester City want to firm up their interest in Doku, which I find really interesting because rumours have been suggesting and sources have been suggesting that Man City have got personal terms agreed, so that to me is Man City firming up their interest yet. The ever-reliable Martin Blackburn saying if Man City want to firm up their interest, which is suggesting that we haven't yet firmed up our interest, then we'd have to pay £47 million. He does go on to say that Jeremy Doku is keen on a move to Manchester City, and I personally do believe this transfer can be done for an affordable price for Manchester City. I don't think we'll want to spend, and I think Man City will use the fact that there are other players out there, in particular in the Premier League, who are of a similar age to Jeremy Doku, who have a price tag on their head with release clauses, noticeably Michael Olise over at Crystal Palace. He has a release clause of £35 million, and Man City believed to be willing to go in with an offer over £30 million. I can't imagine Man City being too keen on paying anywhere over £35 million as a base upfront fee, and if we are including bonuses, I don't think Man City will get as high as £47 million. So will an agreement be found? That is the big question here. I would say that this is a more simple, straightforward transfer. It's just a case of, are Man City willing to pay this, and if not, do we have any alternatives out there, or are we happy to look at this again in the future? Remains to be seen. Now, Sports Witness say that Manchester City were scouting Doku on Sunday in their game against Rennais. Manchester City are a little bit cautious over his injury record and his ability to fit into Pep Guardiola's system, but Man City could overlook these factors based on what's been described as his raw talent, and what they mean by that is that he's a talented, very gifted player who could offer something different to Manchester City, not your typical Pep Guardiola player. So they'd have concerns about him potentially fitting into Pep's system because he's never played in a similar kind of system. He isn't your typical Pep Guardiola player, but Man City are looking at it and saying, actually, sometimes it's a good thing to bring in players who aren't necessarily right for the system, because you're bringing in players for options, and you've got players here who may be able to do something a little bit different for Manchester City. It does also mean that Doku is going to have to adapt his game to try and fit into Manchester City's system. The last thing you want is him ending up getting isolated and being a little bit of an individual and things not really working out for him. And if City are having reservations about that and their injury record as well, City certainly don't want to be overspending when it comes to this transfer. City have some great physios, so I'm not too worried about them injuries. I'm not too worried about him fitting in. What I am worried about is that £47 million asking price. That is a whopping amount of money. I think there are better options out there for a more affordable price as well. Will Man City choose to firm up that interest, as Martin Blackburn says, and make that move? That remains to be seen. As always with Man City, negotiating fees are always the biggest, longest stumbling blocks and hurdles when it comes to Manchester City transfers. Now, moving on to the final transfer of this video, takes us on to a quick update on Lucas Paqueta. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City have found an agreement with Lucas Paqueta when it comes to his personal terms. He does say that Lucas Paqueta wants his move to Manchester City as well, which is just putting more verification and more reliability in what I've been reported on over the last couple of days when it comes to Lucas Paqueta and agreeing a deal with Manchester City. This case is literally just agreeing a fee with West Ham, and Fabrizio Romano does say that discussions between City and West Ham are continuing this week over that price to try and make that deal happen. That is going to be an expensive transfer. When I do get some big breaking news of Man City finding that breakthrough, I will of course let you guys know first and fast. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries, TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Do let me know your thoughts, what you make of these transfers in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow religiously for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC, thank you everyone for watching, I hope everyone is safe and well, peace, ciao for now.